if you notice, lots of frames were cut off. The film does not actually look like that. So
it was cropped tight. The version I saw as well, the rough cut, was not.
You did enjoy that, and it was just so devastating. But you'll see this film.
It was his lab, just to make that clear. It was not Fantasia.
It was not Fantasia.
Even though you're a director, it's really
Ricky's so obsessed with symmetry that during the movie it became a big joke, and we actually it never ended. He would stop a take if you were half an inch off of the mark. He's absolutely symmetrical.
So specifically shot.
Oh, so check it out again.
Against this film, you began writing it as a slightly darker type of narrative, and then you went through kind of your own creative arc as you were writing. Do you want to tell the audience a bit about that?
Yeah, well, I co-wrote it with Mark Bruner, who's in the audience. I don't know if any of you saw this movie decision I made. But it's nice to hear someone saw it. But yeah, so we started doing another dark thing, and actually, after Decision came out, I guess it was so extreme, but I literally could not get a film. You know what I mean? So I became sort of strangely kind of depressed, and thank God Noel took care of me over there. But and I took this sort of dark thing and changed it and tried to make it super happy. And you know, I stopped watching the kind of films I watched before. I was primarily watching, you know, like Are You Afraid of the Dark? And Scooby-Doo, and reading Artie, I was just trying to feel like I did when I was a kid, you know, when I was happy. And so that became the sort of genesis of this. This was just supposed to feel like that, feel sort of, you know, innocent and sort of be like a children's film for, you know, nostalgic adults, I guess.
Well, speaking of children's films, I mean, which of the two of you wrote the line, "Give me a blowjob and you can have the skeleton"?
Well, actually, I have a funny story about that. So I wrote that, and the way I originally had it written was that John was going to ask Googler if he could suck his dick. I sent to John, and I was like, I don't know, John's too sure about this. And John called me back, and he said, I don't ask Googler if I can suck his dick. I tell him he has to suck mine. And I said, yes, sir. Yeah. And he said it wasn't gaily correct. But, you know, John's the king. John gets his way.
A lot of the people in the film are absolutely crazy. If you want to talk about the casting, there's so many amazing personalities in the film.
Yeah, well, the reason, so, you know, to get that sort of feeling of childhood, it was supposed to feel sort of like when I was in my parents' backyard with a high camera, and it was just fun, you know? And so the only way to really do that was, Duke was one of the best Duke I ever met, one of my closest friends, and the only way to sort of replicate that feeling was to get, it had to star him. And that was one thing that I wasn't going to make it without him, because it couldn't have felt like that, you know, if it was just a bunch of, you know, idiot, weird fucking kids, you know, trying to make a movie, just like it used to be, you know, just like it was supposed to be. And then Ray, like, Ray's my last movie, Ray's in this, Ray will be in, as long as he'll talk to me and everything. That was my biggest problem with most films, was that Ray Wise isn't in them. And
I, of course, have to get other work outside of this so that I can afford to work for Ricky. I'll work with him anytime, any place.
I must say, by the way, before we open to the audience, I was just ecstatic to close the film with the Dead Milkman song. In all conversations we've had in the last 5 months, I failed to mention that as a song extra. It's like, oh yeah, the Dead Milkman. That is fucking Canadian band. We love that band. At least I love that band. All right, on that note, questions from the audience. Hit it. Yes.
The scene where the main character talks to students about how to eliminate. Was this scene like a message to somebody?
I have a crazy idea. Wait, really quick. I gotta say this. Our moms are in the audience. Ricky's mom, Ryan. Cool. Q&A is fantastic. There's one thing better than Q&A. Did you get ectogasm when you walked in?
Yeah.
I think what would service this better would be a mom joke off. Losing son has to get his face covered in
mom wrote me an email after seeing a rough cut of this movie, telling me explicitly not to cut out all the suck my dicks in my future.
Is it a second or first? Or you don't have, you can do a joke surrogate. You want a joke? No, that's why I'm hoping. That's why I don't want to lose respect. That's why
Mom.
My mom's like, no offense, Mom. Great, best mom in the world, but not the best joke teller either.
Come on, Mom.
You know what? We'll let Marilyn Googler start. Who also appeared in the film. Ray Wise was oogling her as she worked out. All right, Mom, do you stand up? All right, joke number one. Joke wore a scarf in honor of the character of Raymond. She and my stepdad wore a scarf. Tell your joke, Mom.
Okay, Rose. What's the worst thing that could happen after you had sex with Willie Nelson? So far, so good. Well. I don't know if this is as good as that. Okay. Well, he turns to you and he says, thanks, little lady, but I'm not Willie Nelson.
I think that might have been the funniest joke I've ever heard in my entire life. Rose? All right. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? I'm sorry. Anything, you knock on Joe?
I can't even remember it. My background's terrible.
Rose.
Come on.
Aren't you a rascal for doing this to me?
Thank you. Incredible. I gotta say, my hearing is good. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. I have to say, I think Marilyn Kelch-Gruber won that. Do you guys agree? I got sprayed in the face for a lot of that orgasm, and that was real semen. I'm method. So that's how I feel. Luckily, this is probably just something else. Yeah. What do we want to do? Oh no. I'm not gonna stop this from happening.
Poor Richard.
If I'm gonna get jizz on, it might as well be why Ray was.
This has never happened before in the history of the world.
In the face. Next question. What are presents? People dressed up like ghosts. I made some handmade buttons. Okay, ghost. I like your beard. Where'd you go? Okay, yes. So go for it.
What do we do now?
Great. Do you have a message
question is for the whole panel. Have you ever had any supernatural experiences?
I have. I've had many ghost experiences.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Ray as well. I have not. I've heard about it.
Whoops. Just had one.
So slippery. That's it.
Yes, I was in Belgium, in the middle of the Ardennes forest, on the top floor of a hotel in Spa, Belgium. And I was there for the 500cc Grand Prix of Belgium. I'm making a movie called Race for Glory, I believe it was called. And I was on the top floor of this hotel. It was late at night, around midnight, and there was a lightning storm. No rain, just lightning over the Ardennes forest. And there were several hundred crows cawing and making a real noise over the forest. And at that particular moment, I was standing out on a balcony watching the crows and watching the lightning, and I felt, this is going to sound really weird.
No.
My uncle walked through me.
Wow.
He was killed in the Ardennes in the Battle of the Bulge back in 1945. And his name was Raymond. And my mother named me after him. That was her older brother. I'm Raymond. And hearing so many Raymonds in the movie really brought it all back to me, especially my father yelling, Raymond! And my mother saying, Raymond! Anyway, I felt my uncle that night walk through me. And I got the chills, and I sat down and I dashed off about 4 postcards. One to my mother, telling her all about it, and one to my wife, and I forget who else I wrote to. I just had to keep writing on these postcards. And the next morning, I was okay.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I never told that to anybody before, so this is just between me and you.
Oh wait, mine are so long. At some other point in time, I'll tell you. I love ghost stories so much, but I can only tell them with the lights completely off.
All right, can you tell? Let's kill the light.
I like your style,
All
Rick.
right.
You did it, man. You're stuck. You're forward. And now you were on.
Let me think. I've got a lot. I've got quite a few. A sort of spectacular one that happened to me was I used to live in an old haunted apartment building in the middle of Hollywood, and it was called La Leyenda, meaning the legend. Built in 1920s by Paramount Pictures to house actresses. It was filled with eccentric older people. When I moved in, I was the only person under 70 that lived there. There was Barbara, the woman that wore all purple. There was Robert Noodleman, this very famous historian who had saved a lot of historical properties, and all these eccentrics. And I have many stories relating to this building. I'll just tell one briefly. There was an article about Robert Noodleman, the gentleman that lived 2 floors above me, that was up in the window of the manager's office. And I was on crutches at the time, shooting nights on a project, and I passed this flyer probably 2 nights in a row, but I was so late for work I didn't stop and read it. And our manager had a habit of when something great happened in the building, she would put it up before putting it in this sort of old-fashioned album celebrating the building. And he was always on the wall because he was always saving different landmarks in LA. I passed by it, and I was coming home one night. It was probably 5 in the morning, barely sunrise. I was crutching my way up the stairs, turning the spiral, when all of a sudden, I shrieked. For Noodleman, Robert was walking down the steps, and it was like in the middle of the night, and I didn't expect to see anyone, so I yelled, and he sort of gave me this very, very strange look, and passed right by me. And I apologized. I said, Robert, I'm so sorry. I didn't expect anyone to be in this hallway. And he sort of ignored me and just kept walking, and I watched him trail around. The next morning, I woke up early to read. I thought maybe he was sleepwalking, and I was kind of curious why he didn't even deign to say hello to me in the hallway that night. I woke up extra early, looked at the printout, and it was your obituary.
Whoa.
All right, next question.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you could talk about the soundtrack because it was totally awesome.
Yeah.
And the composer's
Yeah.
here.
The composer's here, and he's amazing. Please stand up, Mikey. And then as far as the other songs, I mean, you know, it goes. It was you know the idea. I just wanted this movie to be sort of everything I love, and so I picked a bunch of bands that I wish I could put in a movie that I made, and they let me, and it's real, and you just watched it. There you go. Yeah, but I don't know if there'll be a soundtrack for sale, but if I get a cut of it, to buy it. All right, next.
You good boy.
Thank you.
You fucking, when I got here in the airport, he tried to get the staff to tell me like the screening was canceled or something. Laura said something, the screen time changed, I gotta let you know. Yeah.
Sometimes my friends like
Great, to answer your question.
All right, there's time for one last question. Yes.
Was the lady dancing in the workout scene the trim lady from the Generic movie?
I can't speak to that. Actually, she was not.
Oh, now that you mentioned it. Might have been.